Hey there, everybody. I wanted to take a minute to discuss something that I think is very important that I am seeing a lot of. And that is people being afraid to genuinely believe in the mission or believe in the calling or believe in this transition that we're entering and believe that they are a part of this transition because they have been programmed to think that this amounts to ego or hubris. Our society has told us not to think too highly of ourselves, that it's delusions of grandeur, or that if you think that you're here for anything other than to just run the program, that you're egotistical or full of yourself. Okay, let me state very clearly right here, right now, that is bullshit. That is false. It is a lie. It is another layer of programming intended to keep you out of this final push that we're in. I personally have fought that voice and that layer of programming for a very, very long time. Even as a child, I'm the youngest of 6 children, and we were, very poor swamp rat family. And even then, I would commonly think, I just don't belong like in this scenario with these people in this situation. This is bizarre to me. And it wasn't about the fact that we didn't have any money. It was about the way that things were done, the super low vibe, dad who, if you look at him sideways, backhands you and, knocks your teeth out, that type of stuff. That's what I thought was very strange. Like, why are we being physically violent towards each other? My siblings would be violent towards me, and we was like, that's just what siblings do. They fight. I thought that was really freaking weird. Why is my sibling on top of me, slapping me in my face till my face turns purple? Like, this doesn't seem right. So, because of that, my older siblings would say, you think you're better than us. To this day, right now, they think that I think I'm better than them. And that is not my heart. What I think is there are better ways to do things. What I think is there are higher ways to do things. And this doesn't make me egotistical or make me think that I'm better than anybody else. I just honor that still small voice. And it's not even a small voice anymore. It's a roar that's inside of me that is screaming, these ways are not correct ways, and we have got to introduce better ways and encourage better ways and learn better ways from each other. It is not hubris or ego to think that you came here in order to change this place. I have seen that message that we get. I have seen it go a little sideways, and this was really a few years ago. I haven't seen this anytime recently, but I would see people say, I am the second coming of Jesus, or I am Mother Mary, etc. Like, I am that person, and I am singularly here to save the world. And from the most broad perspective, that's not necessarily false in that, there are the theories that I am the only person that's here, right? And then we are carrying the Christed consciousness, the crystal code. We are carrying that within ourselves. And the second coming of the Christed energy, I think, is being spread across many thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe millions of avatars. It's the Christ consciousness that has returned to earth. That is my theory. If you think something else, that's perfectly good. We can talk about it. It's okay. I don't need to be right about it. I just feel that is likely what's happening. Or I at least see the Christ consciousness. I see that light coming on in many, many people. So there's no shame or ego or any kind of like a self. There shouldn't be this idea that me being here on this mission is somehow self-serving and it feeds my ego or gives me this self-importance. there is an importance. The importance is to listen to that voice that is roaring inside of you. That is important. And what's important is that we all begin to listen to this voice and not call ourselves down for, I have done it. I have done it so many times. Like, Lisa, are you experiencing delusions of grandeur? Because that's a big one. And I would constantly say, no, Lisa, you don't really need to share these things. No, this is only in your head. This is just for you to have and know. Or it's probably also crazy and no one is going to understand it, or they're going to come lock you up. So not only did I have the concern about this feeling that somehow this is egotistical to have this call, but also to think, what if it makes me crazy? What if it means they come with the white jackets and pick me up? And honestly, those two together, those two little ideas together, could I be egotistical and could I be crazy, have kept me from speaking and sharing a lot of what I felt like other people needed to know. But now I absolutely see, know, feel, hear that yes, we did receive a calling. Yes, we are here to do work to assist in this this transition of humanity. This is true. This is not false. And it is not hubris or egotistical to think that our consciousness, our heart centered thoughts, behaviors, and ways could and can change the entire collective. That is actually the way that it works. So it is not any bad, negative thing to know that what you're doing here is affecting everyone, and know that you have a very beautiful and specific energy and a message and flavor and style that needs to be shared with the world. Now, if you don't want to share it, that's also perfectly wonderful, great, okay, fine, everything's okay with that, because the work that you're doing is still being shared, whether you verbally share it or not. If you're researching, if you're meditating, if you're practicing keeping yourself in a higher vibration, everything that you do gets broadcast out into the fields for the rest of us to be able to pick up. So you basically upload it, we go get it, and we download it into our fields if it's a vibrational match to the mission that we're running. So even if you didn't share it all, your work is still utterly and extremely important. And I really hope that we as a family can stop condemning ourselves and acting like we should be condemned because we feel that we have a higher calling and a higher purpose. Please do not condemn yourself or dim your shine because of people's accusatory reactions to this kind of behavior, which is very foreign to them. I also saw a family member of mine post how she's finally going to do things for herself and put herself first. And then I saw a lot of the old vibratory patterns come in and comment that this could be a selfish thing, that that God says to put others first, etc., etc. Yes, of course, there's service to others. We know this, but to put yourself last, to honor yourself last, is not the way forward, and it isn't the way that we're going to get this work done. Now, if you aren't here to do the work and everything that I'm saying sounds odd, off kilter, it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Then I'm not talking to you. If it doesn't resonate with you, I'm not talking to you. That doesn't mean that I don't want to talk to you. We could chat about other things, but this particular subject, if it's for you, it'll resonate with you, and your neurons and your photons will start popping and exploding, and it'll say, yes, this is something I need to hear, and this is something that I think is also true. So, again, I know I've repeated it several times. Please, please stop calling yourself down for knowing that you are a badass and you are here on a mission. And what you do really does matter. Who you are matters. You literally change the fabric of the reality itself as you work on yourself and as you knowingly run the mission. I love you guys. I hope this made sense. If you have any questions, feel free.